Welcome, welcome, everybody.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go.
Who's on? Who's on?
Laughing all the way.
So Heather and I are moms, and we just put our kids to bed, except her kids stayed there, and my kids are still up. So we decided we're going to do Jingle Bells, and it's a kids' version of Jingle Bells. While we wait for everyone to get started.
Do you have those slides, right? Yeah, we put it.
Yeah.
Jingle all the way.
I don't see anybody. Where's everybody? Okay, they're there.
Hey, jingle bells, jingle bells. Jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
So can you guys comment on the chat box who's excited to listen to Heather talk about Pinterest? How many of you have a Pinterest account? And how many of you use it actively?
What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride and
What do I click on to see who's in here?
Go to attendees on the sidebar. Alright, a lot of you guys have Pinterest, but do you guys know what you're doing? Kelly copies and pastes. Cindy says so.
I can't see anything anybody's writing.
Did you click the button that says enable chat box?
It's not showing me that.
You don't see your sidebar.
It says this feature is disabled.
Oh. Efrain says he uses his Pinterest for crock-pot recipes.
There you go. I like crock-pot recipes on there too, but a lot of them are... I haven't found very many good ones.
Hey, buddy. Go to bed. I have one of my kids under the table right now. Shaheen says she has a lot of boards. That's good, right, Heather?
Yeah, that's great.
All right. It's 9:03. Let's give everyone 2 more minutes. The Christmas music has stopped. Hey, Heather, do you have anything that you want people to do? Maybe have their Pinterest account open while they listen to you so they could go looking through their stuff?
Yeah, you can, if you haven't downloaded the Pinterest app for your phone, that is probably my favorite way to pin, actually, is just from my phone. So there's a really good app if you do that, and you can, I'm going to tell you some exciting things you can do through the app in a minute.
I'm excited to hear that. I'm really excited to hear that. All right. So I'm sure a lot of people have Christmas presents to go wrap and stuff. So while we give everybody the 1 more minute to get on the call to listen to your awesome tips tonight, I'm going to go ahead with tonight's stats. So, top producers for the week. A big shout out to Alberto Collado, aka Al Butter. He's in the 400 Club. Jocelyn Vargas, also known as Josie, is also in the 400 Club. And we have one new Emerald, and this is really exciting because everything begins with Emerald. You activate your business center, you start receiving Team Cycle bonus, you start receiving leads. So big shout out to, I'm sorry if I'm going to butcher your name, Nicole Bergio Riccio is our new Emerald. And we have a really exciting rack advancement. Gabby Lopez Zelaya is a 1-star diamond, and that's really awesome. Gabby works so hard, and she just signed up as a coach this year. And next week she has even more exciting news, so I'm going to hold off on saying great things about her, even though she deserves them all, because, there's still more celebrations to be had. And I'm also a 5-star diamond this week. And what I want to say about that is that I want all of you to have it on your vision boards for next year, because what do you get as a 5-star diamond? You have the capacity to be an elite coach, and if you're an elite coach, what do you get? So if I pull this off, so pray for me, I'm going to be getting the 5-star diamond quarterly bonus in January, which is about $3,000 to $4,000. So if I hold that rank all year, I'll be eligible for that every quarter. And if I hit Success Club every month, I'm going to be getting a $500 bonus from Beachbody, which is pretty exciting. I mean, that's like a $20,000 raise in 1 year just from bonuses from Beachbody. And not to mention all the cool stuff. So if we get cool stuff from being in Success Club as it is, when you're a lead coach, they give you even more free stuff, and I know we all love free stuff. So I'm just looking forward to Cancun to see what they give me in Cancun. So without further notice, I want to turn it over to an amazing coach on the team, Heather Boger Hooker. She's currently an Emerald coach, and an advantage that she has over all of us is that she knows Pinterest inside and out, and a lot of us don't. So I know she's going to give us a lot of great information here tonight, so get your pens and paper ready and your Pinterest app open, and let's give it over to Heather while I start sharing her presentation.
All right. Well, I would just like to say that I am so thankful that Audrey found me on Instagram, because anybody knows that you can reach out and ask Audrey anytime if you have any kind of question. She always has an answer. She always, gets back to me and gets back to everybody and tries to help everybody move their business forward. And I think that she definitely deserves the rank of elite coach, and I know that we're all so proud of her.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You deserve it. All right. Is this ready to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So why should you be on Pinterest? Basically, Pinterest is the new Google, if you don't know. So there are 70 million people who use Pinterest. 9 million users have their Pinterest accounts connected to their Facebook account, which, as Beachbody coaches up until now, that's what we were all after anyway, was, getting connected on Facebook. Pinterest users are 80% female. 18% of Pinterest users have a household income of $75,000 plus. That's over 12 million people with money to spend. Pinterest directs more users to blogs than to any other pin source. So if you haven't started your blog yet, I highly, highly recommend setting up a blog. You can set up a free blog, or even if you set up your own self-hosted, It's like $60 a year to set up your own self-hosted blog. And Pinterest drives traffic straight to that. Let's see next. 47% of Pinterest users made a purchase because of a Pinterest recommendation. So when people are thinking about, they hear something about PIO or 21-day fix, 47% of those people are going to Pinterest and searching for that item on Pinterest, and they're reading about it through Pinterest. So if you're not writing, or if you're not on Pinterest, you need to get on Pinterest. Okay, your target market is on Pinterest looking for more information about your product. And that's just the bottom line. That's no matter if you're a Beachbody coach or if you own a different small business, they're all on Pinterest. Okay, we can go to the next slide. All right, so what I want to show you today a little bit is taking your Pinterest up a notch and becoming a Pinterest power user. So I want you to think of your Pinterest page, your profile page that shows all your boards and your profile picture as a standalone website. Treat it the same way that you would treat your Facebook like page, your Instagram page, or your blog. If your Pinterest profile page is the only thing that a potential customer sees, what would they think? Would they know anything about you, what you do, or what you have to offer them? And there are 3 main keys to become a Pinterest power user: your profile, your boards, and your followers. So there you go. All right, so the first main thing is your Pinterest profile. And this is mine, and I've had mine like this for a little while. You can change your Pinterest profile at any time. But you need to fill out all the information. So put your profile picture there. What do you want your name to be? Mine is Heather at my blog. Yours could be, I know Cindy uses My Fit Closet. It could be Cindy at My Fit Closet, or it could be Coach Cindy. I'm calling Cindy out right now. But in any way that you think people are searching for you, that's how you want your name to be on your page. Then at the bottom, you want to fill out your description. So like mine, I put, I'm a mom, I'm a coach, I like to work out, blah, blah, blah. And then my call to action on my profile description is follow and tag me to be added to my group boards. And that gets people interacting with my profile page, and I'll talk about my group boards in just a second. But I also want to notice in the middle, you can see where I have my website URL verified with the little red check mark. And then beside that, the 2 Facebook logo and the Twitter logo. The Facebook logo, if you click on that, it takes it straight to my personal profile page. And I think there are some other links that you can add too, in addition to those, but I only did those 2. But always use the links. If you have an option to put in your link, use it. Okay, we can go to the next slide. All right, so your Pinterest boards. You want people who are using the search box on Pinterest to be able to find your boards. So the way that you do that is to break your boards into smaller niches. For example, like I've seen people's profiles, people's Pinterest pages, and they have literally one board and it says cool stuff. And everything that they've ever pinned just goes on that one board. Nobody is Googling for cool stuff. Nobody's searching for that. So you want to be as specific as you can. And the example that I give here is about beauty. Like beauty is a huge topic on Pinterest, but you don't want to have one board that says beauty. You want to have, updos or eye shadow or whatever people who are into beauty are into. The more specific you are, the more likely people are to find your board. And just to give you an example of that, one of my most popular boards is called healthy snacks. So it's more specific than healthy food. It's easier to find. 2, make sure the cover photo is a great photo. So I don't know if you know this, but you can change the cover photo of each board. So you go into your boards, you choose the best picture, and you click change the cover to that picture so your boards look pretty. Number 3, fill up your board. So if you start a board and you can only find 2 things to pin on it, then delete it. It's not worth a board. What you want is for people to find your Pinterest account. If they find my healthy snacks board and they're like looking for healthy snacks, then when they click on it, they need to find a bunch of healthy snacks, right? So for me, I just like to fill mine up until I get to 100, and then I usually start a new board, and then I'll usually have a couple going at a time. But once I get to 100, I pretty much let it go. 4, have a board that is just for your business. It should be the very first board on your profile page, and this is where you keep all the pins that send people straight back to you. Now that is very important. So if you're taking notes, you need to write that down. You need to make your board right now on your app, on your phone, for your business, and put it in the very top spot. Okay, next slide. All right, so if you're wondering where you get all this stuff to pin, the popular page on Pinterest, that shows the things that people pin over and over and over and over. So that is a good way to find things that are popular and add them to your boards. The search box at the top of Pinterest, if you have any ideas, you just go in there, scroll through. You can install the Pinterest bookmarklet to your browser, and that's what the picture is right there. And if you just go to about.pinterest.com/en/goodies/browser, you can install that right to your browser. You can add any image from any website to your Pinterest through that little button. And then my favorite way to add pins is just to upload your own. And then in the next slide, I'll show you how to do that. Okay, now this is one of the other biggies, like I just talked about, having your own board, uploading your own pins or your own calls to action. So from the Pins tab, you click Add a Pin. If you're on your computer, then you click from Add a Pin from your device, click an image, and then it pulls up the image. Like I just did this drink more water, and I was going to pin it to my board. And then you just fill out your description. If you're on your phone, it's very similar, but you can scroll through your camera roll. So you can actually add your call to actions straight to Pinterest through your phone or through your computer, and you just put the same wording that you would put on Instagram in the description box, and then you can add hashtags and post it straight to your Facebook or straight to your Twitter. And then at the bottom here I put, remember that it's jab, 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 hook, not hook, 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 because if you're only pinning call to actions, then nobody's gonna pay attention to your pins. Everybody's gonna unfollow you, and nobody will ever see them. So you have to mix those in. Okay, so this is my business board. This is just the name of my blog, and that's all. I think I've already talked about that. Just make one. Okay, so do you guys know what this little symbol means with the 3 little people? Okay, go to the next slide. All right, so what that symbol means is that board is a group board, which means that I created it, but I invited other people to pin to it. So everybody who accepts my invitation to pin to that board automatically shows up in their profile page and in their in their Pinterest feed. So here's another pro tip. Turn your best boards into group boards. So to do this, you just go through, you invite your followers to pin to that board. This gives you more followers and more eyeballs on your pins. You also want to find other people's group boards in your niche and join them. And the way that you find these group boards is to do a simple search for group boards in the Pinterest search box. And then you generally just leave a comment on one of their pins and say that you'd like to be added. You can join a Facebook group for Pinterest collaborative boards, or you can Google like fitness group boards, and that'll pull up websites that have group boards listed. And then make sure you use the words group board in any group boards that you create to make it easier for people to find. Next slide. All right, so once you've found a group board that is perfect, it has a constant stream of new pins, it has a ton of collaborators, and it's your target market. You start pinning. So here's another good point I want to make. You want to pin your content, your calls to action to that board multiple times every day. So no, I'm not saying you have to pin every day, but if you want to, ramp up your prospects, then you go in the morning, you roll over, you grab your phone, you pin your calls to action to the group board, and then at night before you go to bed, you do the same thing. You just pin the same thing to the same group board. Since they're always moving in your feed, new people will see them every time. So you can do this over and over and over and over. All right, next slide. So Pinterest followers, there are a few ways to get more followers on Pinterest. The easiest way is just to pin more, just to use it more. Pinterest loves it when you use Pinterest. The second way is to fill out the pin descriptions. So make sure those have keywords and hashtags. The third way is to cross-promote your Pinterest profile. So, you can share your Pinterest board, you can share your Pinterest pins, you can share your Pinterest page on any of your other social medias, websites. And then fourth is to create a resource. And you really want to make sure that you're pinning things that people are looking for that will be helpful. Okay, next slide. All right, Pinterest has a messaging capability. I haven't had any luck through that, but I think that if you had a freemium, it would be worth reaching out to people who have pinned your pins or calls to action and offering them your freemium to sign up for your email list. And I'll probably test that out on a slow month. All right, next. Okay, so this is just the beginning. There's so much more you can do with Pinterest. If you sign up for a business account, you have access to Pinterest Analytics, rich pins, and promoted pins. Okay, so this is part of my my Pinterest Analytics, and I just put right on here, December is my lowest month for traffic and visits to my blog because nobody looks for smoothie recipes in December. But you can still see that these numbers are crazy compared to other forms of social media. So every day, there are over 5,000 people on Pinterest who are seeing my pins. There are over 200,000 people every month who see my pins. So when you think about that in terms of Facebook and Instagram, these numbers are crazy. All right, next. Okay, so then I put 2 of my top 5 most viewed boards are group boards. One of them is one that I joined, and one of them is one that I started. And I can also look into my Pinterest analytics and see that my most popular board is meal planning, which is something that we can all help other people with. I mean, that's a no-brainer for us. So, all right, you can go next. All right, so rich pins are pins that are more detailed. I'm not sure if they show up more in the feed. I've heard that they do, but I don't have any experience with that. But they're more helpful to pinners because they show more information. And then promoted pins are Pinterest ads, but they look very similar to any other pin in your feed. Pinterest is really picky about what they will allow you to promote. And I've only played with these two features a little bit, so I can't really tell you how effective either one of those are. Right. So here's my final action steps. Fill out all the information on your profile. Create a board for your business. Create niche boards that are a resource. Add people to your best boards and find group boards in your niche to be added to, and then pin your best pins daily and cross promote your Pinterest page. And that is it. I hope you guys learned something, at least something.
I'm sure they did. Heather, can I ask you something?
Yes.
How much of your business comes from Pinterest?
Hiya.
Let's see. Well,
Hiya.
I'm gonna mute him.
one of my coaches came from Pinterest. She was looking for something like this, and she emailed me. She saw one of my calls to action. My coach, Michelle, has had success doing this. One of her current challengers is from Pinterest. And then the great thing about Pinterest, which I didn't, on one of my slides, it said something about how once you pin, it's not like Facebook status or Instagram post. It doesn't have a shelf life. So it just keeps coming back up. So even now, I get emails from people who are interested in my challenge groups from pins that I pinned last month and 2 months ago. So I think,
So because it's permanent, because it never goes away, it's a gift that keeps on giving.
exactly. So it's not a huge part of my business, but it's something that I'm going to keep doing.
Yeah. You mentioned 100 pins per board, which sounds like a lot. And Melissa wants to know, how much time of day do you spend on Pinterest? Or should we spend on Pinterest?
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't say there's like a time limit. I generally, like, if I'm in my car and my husband's driving, then that's when I'm like playing on Facebook or pinning, or there are days when I don't even check into Pinterest at all. But I mean, once you put the app on your phone, if you just do it for 5 minutes a day, I mean, it takes 2 seconds to upload your call to action. You just copy and paste what you wrote on Instagram or Facebook and just send it to Pinterest. It's so
easy.
What?
How about repinning?
Repin?
Repinning.
Yeah. So all of your pins don't even have to be your own things. You can repin, but once you repin it to your page, it becomes your pin. Does that make any sense?
So you're saying that once I pin it to one of my boards, people will see it as coming from my profile?
Right. Right. So most of I have a lot of boards, and I mean 95% of the stuff on my boards is not stuff that I created. But those people are my target market who are looking at that And
Mhm.
that's one click away from seeing my business board or my profile. So,
Okay. Anya's asking how are your websites verified? So does that just happen, just Pinterest just do that once you enter what your site is?
um, I did that a long time ago. I'm not sure. I will double check on that and post it in Leadwell and Luminous
Mhm.
because it's been a long time since I did that.
Okay. It's probably, my guess would be that once you put in like what's your Facebook URL, Facebook just checks that it's valid. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, those you just enter. But to get your website listed, I think you have to put in a little bit of code or something into your website to
okay.
verify.
Okay. Cindy Gunna is asking, what blog sites do you use? I'm not very great with computer graphics.
Um, I create all of my calls to action on my phone. So
So, so it's just apps that, like, in the resources that we have in Leadwell Mastery.
yeah, I mean, I usually just like Google an image of something that I want, and then I use word swag to put words on top of it, and then I use the A Beautiful Mess app a lot to change the way it looks.
Okay. Um, okay. Does anyone have any other questions? No, it seems like Anya has some stuff to figure out with verifying her site because it's not letting her do it. But you have your actual website tied to your Pinterest profile, right?
Yeah.
Cindy's saying for the blog that you suggested we do, you mean like in terms of Blogspot or WordPress?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
either one of those. Melanie Mitro's blog is blogspot.com, which is a free blog. So I don't see any reason why you can't use that if it's good enough for Melanie Mitro.
Yeah. I was totally blown away with the number of impressions you get. Like
I
you
know.
mentioned, it's your lowest month in terms of people searching for
Yeah.
smoothie recipes, but you had so many impressions.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and that's the thing if even though I said 95% of my pins are other people's pins, but in my top five boards, one of my top five boards is my e-smoothie recipes board, which is my blog board. So, eh, I mean, it's just nuts.
Darlene says, for your business board, do you use Beachbody name or what would you call your business board?
Mm-mm. I mean, I wouldn't. I try to stay away from saying Beachbody, period, just because I'm not selling Beachbody. I feel like I'm selling me. So I wouldn't put that on there. I would think of a business name and use that, or use your own personal name.
That's a good idea. Because also, if people search Beachbody, you're just one of the people that will come up.
You're just a face in the crowd.
Yeah.
But
Melissa, I'm sorry, what?
oh, um, I just think it's really cool when you look in the analytics that you can find out so much about who your target market is. I mean, I can pull up mine and see like what she likes to pin, what boards she pins to, what she's looking for. I mean, for people who are content creators, it's so easy to log into that and say, okay, people are looking for meal plans. Let me create a meal plan and then pin it, and then have everybody else pin it.
That's really awesome. So it actually tells you what your followers do besides look you up
Oh,
on Pinterest.
Oh yeah.
That's really awesome. And do you only is that only that's only done through a Pinterest business page, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Melissa wants to know, do you pin all of your blog posts?
I do. Hmm.
Yeah. Ephraim just realized how many followers he has and how huge that could be for business.
Hello.
All right. So you had an awesome presentation, Heather. Um, we're gonna post it on Leadwell Legacy, and I'm gonna post this webinar after we're done, so everyone can review the information. I'm sure we need to go back and take it step by step to make sure that we're following all of the great tips that you gave us. And Heather will be around tonight if you guys have any questions to ask her about your Pinterest profile. All right.
Thanks.
Any last tips, Heather?
Nope, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.